Located in the deepest, darkest depths of the Austrian forest is this beautiful 10-corner circuit called the Red Bull Ring for the Austrian Grand Prix as TOR Season 4 arrives for it. And well, what a championship spectacle we have, just 14 points separating the top two. But LCR Ben is unavailable today, so it's a great chance for LCR Hayden to extend his gap back out at the front. And of course, as per usual, my name, of course, is the voice of LCR, the voice of TOR, LCR Nuthead. Alongside me, a man that joined me for the French Grand Prix and joins for the remainder of the season, Gareth, aka Warder. And Gareth, well, we're in for a treat.
Oh, well, especially after that French Grand Prix last week, there was definitely, well, action until the last corner we had. So I'm really, really looking forward to this Grand Prix.
Well, as am I, as the guys are now making their way out for apparently what we've been informed as an all-dry weekend. Dry for both qualifying and for the race. Thank you much, as per usual, Wastel in the chat for that one, of course, forcing the driver here today. But the first car out is a newbie to the league in Jolly, of course, a member of LCR, TOR's sister league, LCR Racing with them, the Force India, alongside his good teammate, came in 25. But those two not here today as teammates, they're here as rivals, which I think, to be honest with you, with a few guys like that, where they race in one league as teammates, not in the other, it sort of adds a bit of sort of mutual respect towards one another when you come into this.
It does. It adds a little bit of extra spice. Obviously, they know how those teammates, how they think, how they work, and sometimes it does make drivers overthink a few things, and it makes for really exciting racing. And you can see them push that little bit harder when they know it's someone they know in front of them.
Well, you can actually see it now. They were busy top and tail end together on track. Like, Liam was basically overtaking Jolly Joe, and overtaking Liam. So there's still that sort of element of mutual respect. Of course, they are good friends as well in real life. And, well, now we just have to wait and see how they get on. LCR Apex has joined the session as well, which means, of course, he will take part in the race, similar to what his teammate LCR Visualise did last week. Sadly, though, the Belgian not available today. And I think King Liam just cut turn one there. So having to rethink his lap on the second time around. So we'll go on with Jolly as he flies round. But, of course, Gareth, last time out, it was a really good result for the house. He brought him 25 points.
Yeah, Liam really pulled it out. Fantastic racing with LPR Hate early on. Just showing his worth to the league, and hopefully he's got more in it to him this Grand Prix Austria. But I don't know. Jolly's always a quick person. I've known him for a little while myself, so it's going to be interesting between the two of them. I think King Liam's going to come out on top again this week. I spoke to you before the Grand Prix about this and given my opinion on who's going to win.
Yeah, just a bit of issue with traffic there coming for the final few corners. But anyway, yes, Kim in 25 did take the race victory. And talked about the rest of the results. Wastel came home with P2, brilliant 18 points from his second podium in 3 races, both of them being second places. So rather match up there. And third place went to LCR Ben, who of course managed to close up the gap only by 3 points to LCR Hayden. But of course, Hayden is here and Ben is not. So a great opportunity for Hayden to extend back what once was 33 points, now down to 14 as lap times coming in. LCR Mulder kicks us off, of course, the Flying Dutchman 105.3, and the newbie to TOR, UK Dark Predator, the cheery Italian of LCR as I call him, is flying through the third sector. Of course, teammates with a good friend Kingdom 25 here today, so a bit of a sign that they've got to be respectful of one another. But anyway, where we're going to see Italian go up to the line, and he doesn't quite beat LCR Mulder's first lap time on softs, 105.5, but everyone in a bit of feeling out process here, Gareth, early on.
Yeah, I always say the beginning of the Grand Prix, the beginning of the qualifying, is there's people just relearning the track, getting to it, even though they've probably done plenty of practice in time trial or in beforehand, as King Liam. Jolly smashes it as well, so both of them showing absolutely pure intent for the rest of the Grand Prix. It's very much just trying to figure out what the lines they can take and how they can do it.
Yes, it's just a more of Sims there. He came through the final corner and didn't quite manage to get that line work. He's coming out on the super soft line, so straight away going for it. A scarf there goes slowest of all on the second attempt on his Ultrasoft, 105.7 for him, but straight away out on the fastest set. LCR Hayden the champion leader flying through the second sector on his ultra soft tyres. So interesting to see where the Ferrari can go. Of course, he's got a newbie teammate, Kelsey Gianni, here today. We'll have to see how Gianni gets on. He's a very quick driver, very good at qualifying as well. Often can produce the occasional shot podiums. Talking to you about another newbie to the league as well, WR Peanuts joins in the Renault here today. So plenty of new guys to keep your eye on and see how they get on. As Wastel done a 1:13.3 and Hayden done a 1:09.6. So fairly early stages. Everyone's not quite going for it completely, but WR Peanut seems to be flying through the third sector. Jolly's out.
In that live, King Liam and Jolly have been. Well, looks like they've been practicing overtakes on various set parts of the track, and King Liam's just nudged Jolly while going into the pits, and Jolly's gone. So I really don't know what's going on there, whether it was a little bit of lag or what, but I'm pretty certain Jolly's not going to be happy when it comes out. We might have a Michael Schumacher when he goes to try and beat, I believe it was Coulthard, try and punch him in the pit lane, but hopefully it won't come down to that. But Peanuts coming out on the set of Super Softs, which is interesting because we've got 3 sets of tyres with us this weekend, haven't we? It's the Ultra Soft, Super Soft and Softs. Do you think people are going to use the Ultra Soft to qualify?
Well, I don't see why not. I suppose the strategy you can do, of course, is ultra soft to soft. You might see some guys go on as soft. Of course, we're only got 11 guys in qualifying, so as it stands at the moment, you see Jolly, of course, at the top of the table. There still is, of course, going to be that condition where only one guy is going to get to start on the fresh tyres alongside, of course, LCR Apex, who's jumped in late. So I think it's definitely going to be down to if you want to have that track position. Of course, it's a great track for racing, so, if you do want to get your elbows out and try and get a bit of racing on, I would say Super Softs are probably the way to go. But we're not mind readers, we're just commentators. As Gianni up to the line, goes P5, 105.4, and sort of get us a little bit of battle there between Mulder, Gianni and Fred, who just about a second off one another, which is consistent.
Well, to be perfectly honest, it's really half a second between King Liam and UK Dark Predator anyway. So the 5 guys there, and it's not the restaurant 5 guys, but the 5 guys there are quite close together and could very well be in with the mix on the start of the Grand Prix, and anything can happen. That's what I love about Formula 1.
Yeah, that's what we all love about it, as Boris Levels is flying through the final sector. In fact, he's flying into the pits. So not going to be a lap time from the Williams, of course. Just had the 1 finish for the season. He's raced in every single race, would you believe it, this season, out of 6. He's retired 5 times, and the 1 time he finished, he brought home a P3. So bit of consistency required for the Williams, who wants to really do anything in these, well, halfway through the championship now, as Gianni goes third, 105.1.
So lap time's starting to tumble a little bit. I say tumble, that's not the right word. This slowly eking down. Sims might have cut across the first corner, so his lap time might be invalidated. But there's still so long left of the qualifying session to go that I don't people pushing quite early on. I see the people pushing quite early on, and I don't think it's quite the right idea in qualifying to do that. That's just my personal opinion. I like to leave it quite late.
Well, I don't know. I suppose you might as well get your lap done and just get yourself a lap time on the board, because of course this track very easy for corner cutting. There's very much opportunity for it, despite the fact it's only got 10 corners. There's plenty of times where you can just go that little bit too much on the track limit. So get a lap time in, I would say. But anyway, Sims is now flying through the front of the corner. He's still flying on his lap, and you've got to be careful there in particular. And as well, the final corner, cut into them, and that's your lap time done. But up to the line for Sims. And yep, you were right, 103.9 it would have been. So absolutely smashed lap times. Of course, as you can see, most lap times have been done by softs or super soft respectively, and a few sort of like early stages ultra soft laps as well. So still time for guys to get lap times in, but at the same time everyone's still taking it fairly easy at the front. But Jolly's still on top, despite the fact he's now been out for, I'd say, around about 4 minutes.
Yeah, he's been out a little while. I think actually he probably will prefer to start on a set of softs if he has the option. You never know. Dropped out of the top 10 everyone else might get faster than him. The Force India of Way still hasn't set a proper lap, and after last week's performance, I believe he's going to be much quicker than what he's showing there. That seems like a very much of a sandbag lap time for me. But yeah, I've been into the pits now. I asking this question. Obviously, you've got a little bit more knowledge about the league and the guys who are racing than I do. Who do you think is going to survive the pressure better? Out of, obviously, we know Ben's not, LCR Ben is not going to be here this week, but Hayden obviously leading the way at the moment. But if Ben gets a couple of results in a row, is that going to affect Hayden at all?
First and foremost, well, Waitzel just binned it at the penultimate corner. I did have a mic on mute, which is the reason why I did actually react, but unfortunately you didn't hear it. But no, yeah, sorry, Waitzel just went off of that, sort of took me by surprise. No, I think LCR Hayden, he's got the confidence to do it. You know, I think he sort of couldn't believe he was up there, but I think now he has sort of set in the fact that yes, you are at the top of the championship. You know, everyone's going to be looking for your head. Everyone wants to beat you in at the top. So I would say no. I think he's going to do well under pressure, given the fact that, you know, if he gets a result here today in particular, you know, that will put. He's already got the ball in Ben's end. He just needs to make sure that it has a double bounce, and that's 15 love. Simple as that. But you know, he's still got a lot of work to do. We're only now. This is of course the halfway point of the championship. So there's still a lot of racing left to be done in TOR, and well, I suppose if anyone wants to call himself TOR Season 4 champion and dethrone LCR Mulder, I think it has to be one of them two LCR boys.
Gianni's just put 3 laps on, so I completely changed subject, but Gianni's just put 3 laps on his set of soft tyres, as Boris Box has retired from the session. Is that Crash? I didn't think he was out on a lap, but yeah, Gianni's 3 lap older softs. He's provisional pole, but is that going to cost him in race?
Well, you say that, he's actually just changed the super softs in the pits as WR Peanut's still now flying around on them ultras once again. So he's straight away thinking, right, done my good lap on softs, and I'm fast as Jolly. Of course, Jolly's not going to improve in the session, so he's in a great position there. He's just now got to sort of hope that his supers come out good as. In actual fact, speaking of which, Kingdom 25 has just now begun, about to begin his ultra super soft lap. Meanwhile, WR Peanut's still flying through the second sector on his ultras. But no, I think there's particularly going to be, you know, a lot of ultra soft and super soft lap times coming out. That's what I wanted to say. So I think don't discount anyone just yet. But Gianni, I really want to just get a feel for the track, so I went out and done them 4 laps, and well, I suppose the softs are there to sort of be used. Really, you've got to set for the race, so you know, why not go out and give it everything you've got on them. But just speaking about through the second sector, WR Peanut is now coming up towards the final couple of corners on a 3rd attempt on these ultra softs. He would feel like he's going to dive into the pits. Nope, he is still going to go for it. Round the final corner comes the Renault, runs a little bit wide, gets on the curve, bit of oversteer, but still no issues. Up to the line, would have been a 1:09. Surprise, surprise, it was invalidated. But Sims is flying through the second sector, and well, given the fact that he has a race victory to his name this season, he'll be looking to add to his list here in Austria.
He will indeed. So there's on what he's got in his locker. He's down in 3rd in the championship, I believe. He won at Monaco just before I started joining. So he's in with an chance of being in this title fight. But he's got absolutely destroys the pole sitter time. Is that half a second?
Yeah, Liam just went 6 tenths quicker at the top of the chart, so immediately coming in, stamping his authority. Sims about to beat him. No, he's not. He's going to dart it into the pits and think, nope, that's enough from me. Scarf flying through the second sector. Well, I say flying, he's sort of run a little bit wide there and seems to be struggling just a little bit, but still making his way around on his lap. But yeah, out of nowhere comes Liam, 1:04.3, and is now a good 6 tenths clear. But of course, he's on different tyres, so you think about mathematically, he's around about where Gianni would be when he goes out into his supers. According to the Delta, of course, and then you have to wait for the laptop to come in. As a 106 dead would have been for Scarf, so he needs to find some time really. But UK Predator Cheery Italian flying through the second sector, and given the fact his teammate's just gone fastest, he'll be wanting to back him up as best as possible.
Yeah, not King Liam, that's his teammate. Pred is generally pretty good when he knows his teammate. When his teammate and him have got a strong bond, King Liam, UK Dark Predator, is very, very strong as a backup teammate. And I know him and King Liam have a strong bond as teammates go. So it's going to be interesting to see how they work in this race as teammates. I know in the past they've used Slipstream to their advantage and everything, as King Liam's lost it somewhere.
Yeah, either that or he's just retired from the session. Up to line comes UK Dark Predator. Wouldn't be 104.5, but sadly. In fact, it looked like he might have done that at the final corner. But anyway, guys are now making their way under the championship leader. LCR Hayden is flying for the second sector, given the fact that he's done a sandbag lap on the Ultras and he's down in 8th, of course. Boris Evans retiring at the back of the field. Everyone who's in qualifying now qualifies on their tyres. That will be the tyre they start on, as we just saw an improvement. I believe that might have been Scarf getting himself into P6, just ahead of UK Dark Predator with 105.4. So kind of close there to Mulder. Would feel a bit disheartened he's missed out on that one, but does beat the Italian for now. But where are we going to see the championship leader go, Gareth? I reckon he might be about to actually start another one.
So I half missed that. I'm very much interested to see how LCR Hayden's going to react, and he's struggled, I think, in that last sector to get it all together as Wastel's come out of nowhere. That incredible lap from Wastel, a 104.1. I know it's on the ultra soft tyres, but that's really well, to get himself in front of King Liam like that. It'll be interesting to see how WO Peanut and Janny respond and see what Hayden comes out with. There's still so much to go on with a minute and a half left.
Yeah, there's still some guys to get out time in. Simmers, of course, also set up. He's someone to watch out for in terms of pace, but yeah, Wastel tops the timesheets for 104.1, which is just really what he needed. But LCR Hayden was flying through the second sector, and I think this might be one of his final, if not the final, attempt at a lap time. He's got around about one lap of fuel in from what I can read, so I think this might be it from the Ferrari. His teammates up in third. He leads the championship. The pressure on his shoulders this weekend. I'm sure LCR Ben is watching furiously on the sidelines. But up to the line for Hayden. It's P3, 104.5, and doesn't manage to beat his teammate and King Liam 25, who was disheartened by that. Sims just now starting lap on an ultra soft tyres, and that could have been a corner cut, that could have been curtains, but I don't think it was. LCR Mulder just about to start a lap. UK Dark Predator flying through the second sector, and he's actually going slowly, so we won't see anyone improve from him. Kelsey Janney also now about to attempt another one. He's currently 14 thousandths up on his time, so nothing to split him in terms of his lap, but we really are at crunch time here, Gareth.
We are indeed. Hayden actually beat Janny just in his time, but Janny then produced a time just to beat Hayden. So two Ferraris going head to head. Elsa is actually looking incredibly quick at the moment on the first sector. I've not seen sector times, but it is looking solid. Peanut is another one to watch out for because he is on a set of ultra soft tyres. So you just think that he is going to get a good time out. UK Dark Predator, I don't think he's on very, very worn super soft tyres.
He actually slowed down. It would have been the exact same lap time as what his teammate did. Peanut goes third, 104.4, fantastic lap time from him. We've also just got Sims, who didn't manage to actually get a lap time on the board in the end, so no more from him. And I think, because UK Dark Predator might be going slowly, this is it from Mulder. He runs wide out the final corner, and that could have been a corner cut. And indeed, it was. It would have been a 103.8, so it would have actually been enough for pole position. But UK Dark Predator is actually going for it on the fourth attempt on these supers. Where is the Italian going to go? It's up to P5, 104.4, and that does qualifying. In the end, championship leader starts from 6th. Wastel manages to bring home a pole position. And WR Peanut on his debut brings home 3rd, with Kelsey Johnny also on his debut bringing home 4th. So a good display from the lads who make their first appearance, as Janny and Mulder AI have just crashed together. But, well, Chandler's got a lot of work to do in this one.
He has indeed. That's it's a huge task. And it could have been a lot worse had Jolly not been retired from the session that early on. I mean, all these drivers are going to have to prove their worth this weekend. I mean, Wastel is in a prime position. But those two rookies, like you say, Peanut and Janny, phenomenal job getting themselves in P3 and 4 respectively. Though the amount of tyre wear these guys have put their tyres through is incredible, and we'll talk about that before the race starts. But I'll let you do the rundown.
Well, yep, there is your grid for you. So Wastel on pole position, McKinnon 25 alongside him in P2. Third place for WR Peanut, Kelsey Janney alongside him in P4. Row 3 is You Could Up Predator, Chance leader LCR Hayden. Jolly starts from P7, LCR Mulder in P8. Scarf and Sims are 9th and 10th, with Boris Box and LCR Apex rounding out a 12-man grid as TOR Season 4 is ready for the Red Bull Ring here today.
So, like I was saying, it's always very dark, very cloudy out for the start of the Grand Prix. I'm not sure how that's going to affect anyone. I don't think it will at all. But UK Dark Predator puts 4 laps onto that super soft tyre. That's an incredible amount of usage to start the Grand Prix on.
I think when you consider the balance and out of the tyres in terms of wear, you've got to say it's going to be about at the same stage as them ultra soft runners when they eventually do start to get worn. So he's got a lot of work to do, but you know, I suppose he might as well give it a go. He was determined to get that super soft lap on the board. As you can see, looking at the field, Jolly and Mulder inside the top 10. They are both on soft, so Mulder in the end didn't actually manage to improve despite coming out numerous times. He just couldn't get that in the second lap time on the board. He got that one that was base, though, which means, of course, he's not further down the field, but also had to get one and didn't manage to get one on softer tyres. But we get ready for formation lap, Gareth, and well, I'm going to ask you for your prediction. Who do you think is going to take the victory here today?
Well, it's interesting because Jolly's starting on soft tyres. Though I'm going to stick with what I said before the stream happened or before the stream started. King Liam he's a really, really quick driver, and on his day he is one of the best around. So he's capable of winning this Grand Prix quite well, in my opinion, and that's where I'm going to go with.
Well, he's got King Liam in his money. I don't know what the odds are. Of course, we're not associated with Ladbrokes or William Hill. We might be someday. You never quite know. But we'll just have to wait and see. For 36 laps of racing at the Red Bull Ring, located, of course, deep within the Austrian forest lies this Grand Prix circuit. And well, we just wait to see. It's a bit of a feeling out process. After this Grand Prix, of course, we will officially cross the mark into the second half of the season, prepare ourselves for Silverstone at the British Grand Prix. Of course, numerous guys home ones. But first thing first, we have to complete these first 6 laps here at Austria. And well, given the tyre choices, you can see it's fairly split, as we'll just briefly talk over it for you. So Wastel, Peanut, Scarf and Sims, all of those guys on ultra softs. Those, of course, are on 1st, 3rd, 9th and 10th respectively. Outside of the top 10, Boris Lebos and LCR Apex both on supers, with inside the top 10, Kingland 25, Kelsey Janney, UK Dark Predator and LCR Hayden on supers. With the only 2 men on those yellow-walled, soft and hardest compound tyres for the guys this weekend is Jolly and LCR Mulder. And well, as per usual, Boris Lebos is the final man of 12 as TOR gets ready to leave its mark and present itself to the crowds of Austria. The guys are ready, we're ready, the audience are almost certainly ready. Let's get Season 4 underway here in Austria. Boris parks his car up with Apex alongside him. But at the front, it's Wastel against Liam, Peanut against Janney. Who will come out on top in the Battle of Austria as TOR Season 4 is now off in Austria. It's a Bentley top in the race. Will be a good starting for Killing on the second row. Long Janney got a better starting. P1 turn down towards turn 1, but down the inside goes Killing on Wastel, meaning down towards turn 1. They happen immediately as they come through towards that section. Jolly also get a brilliant start, getting past against Sims, and Sims climbing up through past Hayden as well. He's dropped a P8, but down towards turn 3 they come for the first time. Wastel on the outside line again to be 3-1 potentially as Janney goes to the inside, the outside. He can't find a way past, make contact them with Liam. Liam punted off wide. Janney then gets through. Looking to be further down. Peanut and Duke Up Predator squabbling away heavily as they're almost 3 wide coming down towards turn 4. Janney leaves just about by pretty much ahead of Liam, ahead of Wastel, who's now 4 wide, 3 wide and getting towards turn 4. Insane start for the guys. Another switchback attempt as Wastel swims right on the outside. Contact between Janney and Liam. They're both in the wall, and just like that, you can see the opportunity for Janney to bring up decent points to dissipate. Teammate for Liam tries to pass UK Dark Predator around the outside. He couldn't quite just yet, but what a chaotic start to have seen Jolly up to 5th, Peanut fall to 4th, and UK Dark Predator into 3rd, Gareth.
What an incredible we had off of that. I don't really know where to start. But the big winner is down P6. Sims up 4 places. Fred also fighting his through and getting himself into a really good position. The battling between the rest is all given Wastill a little bit of breathing space. Jolly up to P5, so Jolly's had a good start as well. Peanut, he'd probably be quite happy to stick in P4 right now. But Janny, and up the inside. Peanut's gone up the inside of the Predator. That's a little bit of a late dive there.
It's an understatement, as meanwhile, as you can see, LCR Hayden trying to fight his way back through the field. He's now down in 7th, but side by side with Sims down towards turn 4. The championship leader has got it all to do in this one and still couldn't quite find a way past it. Everyone funnels their way through in a similar order, as you can see, of course, looking at that. Janny, of course, dropping down from 4th. He had a brilliant start, has to be said. He was already alongside Peanut, past Peanut through towards turn 2, down towards turn 3, they were 3 wide, down towards turn 4, they were 3 wide. They just did not want to stop, and eventually one of them was forced to give way, and sad it was contact with Liam and Janny, which just allowed waste of that 1.1 seconds already, which of course means as of right now, when DRS becomes enabled, it will be of course advantage Wastill and really going to be pressure on for Liam against his teammate. As meanwhile further down, Mulder trying to find a way down the inside on Boris Therbox in a battle for P8, and indeed he does, which now means of course Boris back stuck behind him, but DRS of course now on, and Sims is looking to the outside on a Jolly down towards turn 3. He can't quite do it, I don't think. Break late, go to pair of them, but swooping the Ultrasoft tyres is Sims. He's right on the curb, fighting his way through, and he has indeed, and might even have got Peanut down towards turn 4. He is round the outside. This could be a brilliant double overtake. Two overtakes and 2 corners round the outside for Sims. Peanut breaks late, makes a bit of contact, but eventually Sims finds his way past, just about down towards turn 5 they come. Down the inside once again for Sims. Can he find it? No, he can't. Peanut defends brilliantly. Now through towards 7. They still don't want to give way, and eventually Peanut doesn't hold his nerve. No. Sims gets past, and eventually Sims pulls off them 2 overtakes in slightly more than 2 corners.
What incredible racing there between Sims, Jolly and Peanut. I mean, that's incredible. How they managed to go so long side by side, and Hayden is right there as well. These guys are throwing everything at it. A little bit of contact, but nothing major, and Peanut is now under massive pressure from Jolly and Hayden. He's got to be careful because he's going to start dropping down that field pretty quickly as Jolly's up the inside and pushes a Peanut out wide, which gives Hayden an easy overtake. And Mulder's there to pick up pieces as well, is he?
Might be just about down towards turn 4. Down the inside goes Mulder on Peanut, trying to do his best as Peanut being basically bullied down the field by Jolly. And in the end, Mulder does get past, and now the Oxford runner beginning to struggle in this one. But there's a right old train stuck behind. The top 4 all are about a second apart from one another, and the rest of the field, you can see it's from 4th down to 9th. Everyone has got a DRS train for 3 individual activation zones here in Austria. But Jolly is beginning to fall back from Sims as expected. Of course, he's on soft compared to ultra soft, and Hayden here, the championship leader, needs to find a way past as soon as possible to keep his hopes alive.
He does indeed, but he has got the little bit of an advantage there, going up trying to look up the inside of Jolly.
And all contact about around Peanut! Oh my goodness me, Boris and Peanut. Boris is out, Peanut into the wall. And what on earth just happened there?
I was concentrating on Hayden and Jolly, and then all of a sudden, yellow Renault flying to the start-finish wall. I have no idea what went on there. Virtual safety car, I probably would have put out a real safety car, to be perfectly honest. That was incredible. That's given the guys on Ultra Softs, Wastill especially, a little bit of extra life for the tyre, just that little bit longer. I don't even know where we were going from. I think Jolly's in a prime position. Hayden, I think I was saying Hayden's actually in a nice position as well, being on those super soft tyres. Compared to Sims' ultra soft and Wastill's ultra soft, but there's still plenty of work to do for everyone. But that's 2 DNFs now, and Janny a long way back.
Great start from both Hasses on the VSC. They just managed to time their delta reflection out of that. Now Liam is right on the back away, so these guys were about 2 seconds apart just before the VSC came out, and now it's come out. And well, Liam is right on the back of Wastrel here, and these two have got some old rivalry to sort out here now. After what happened at the start, they were still very much involved, just as much as the next guy. Jolly's get a good start on Sims, but here goes Liam on Wastrel down the inside through towards turn 3. Sims does his Wastrel his best to break as late as possible. We couldn't quite on the curb though, still managed to defend, but maybe towards 4. Liam can hold him in the slipstream and DRS. Wastrel going defensive on the inside line. Now to the outside goes King Liam 25. Long way around for the race. Wastrel breaks as late as he can to allow him to hold it, and UK Predator does not tackle his teammate Finks, but alright, meanwhile Jolly trying to find a way past Sims, and Hayden trying to find a way past the pair of them. He couldn't quite just yet. Jolly finally does find a way past. Now Hayden is trying to follow him through, and indeed he does, and in the end Sauber and Ferrari work together, and Sims, bully just like Peanut was, down 2 places.
It was indeed. These two, Jolly and Hayden, seems to be doing incredible.
Towards the phenomenal corner, my apologies for interrupting Gareth, but through towards the final corner, down the inside goes Liam. He's absolutely fighting with all they've got, and in the end he does come out on top. Neither of them have DRS, and UK Predator, the sole man that has DRS, and mighty enough pop at his teammate, and he doesn't. But now, of course, Liam been lead train. Are they going to work together to try and sort of funnel their way through? They're, of course, very good friends personally anyway, but Wastrel now is going to try and find a way immediately back past UK Predator, but he's going to do his best to try and defend, and now Wastrel gone to the inside, they're 3 wide, potentially, not quite just yet. Pred defends around the outside, and what about that? This is some really take-a-bow stuff.
Hayden's going out Jolly as well, just behind missed it. And it's a 3-way battle because Sims is getting involved again. Hayden's managed to make the move stick, and I know Wastrel and UK Predator are still going at it as well. And now LTR Mulder's going at the back of Sims, but oh my god, it's happening everywhere.
It's the Grand Prix every commentator and every viewer dreams of. It's just non-stop action, and we hope it continues for all 36 laps. No one giving each other an absolute inch, but it's currently a Haas 1-2, and them two are working together, it seems, to just try and defend off Wastrel behind. Meanwhile, Mulder now finds a way past Sims, who continues to fall down the order. Not been a good day at all as Pred shifts to the inside. Wastrel goes to the inside of Pred. They make a bit of contact through towards turn 1. It was a late and hopeful lunge from Wastrel, and that was surely never on for the Force India. And now, of course, he has to worry about trying to find a way past once again, and his Ultra Softs are beginning to wear, so he's going to begin to drop off on lap time. And look at how much they're battling, and look who is now only 1.1 seconds behind. LCR Hayden is in the midst of this battle.
I think I might have to revise it what I said about winning this Grand Prix, because LCR, Mulder and Jolly must be licking their lips at this battle. King Liam, Pred and Wastrel all fighting away has produced, well, it's forced the hand, and Hayden, Jolly and Mulder and even Sims is now a 7-way battle for first position, and that's incredible. It looked like it all split out at the first, but Pred's doing his best to defend his teammate, but Wastrel is going full throttle at all this, and he's going to the pit.
He's going to try the undercut, and you can't say you have to blame him. That's the right call in my opinion. Now, of course, reprieves the two Hasses, and maybe they will start to battle now, or maybe they'll think, nope, we've got Hayden behind us. Pred will stay behind Liam for now. There's also another Ultra Soft runner comes in, a Scarf. He dives it in for his pit stop. As you can see, the two Hasses top and sound together. Pred goes to the inside line against him. In actual fact, Liam has let him go.
That was the weakest defence I've ever seen King Liam do. And interestingly, is this because Pred's tyre life is worse than King Liam? And King Liam's going to do a little bit of a hold-up job on the rest of the guys behind him and let Pred have that little bit of free air, and then Pred do the same to King Liam later on in the race. Who knows? We can't say for certain, but they're so close together. And Wastrel is on a set of ultra soft tyres again.
So 2-stop plan for the Force India, and well, it's all about getting the hammer down with that 10.6 seconds worth of clear air. You might as well give it a go. Scarf also going to a set of supers. You will feel he's actually going for a 2-stop as well, but going for the alternate strategy than what we're going to see Wastrel as they now begin lap 10 of 36. Yep, we're already 10 laps in, would you believe it? I wouldn't think we're 5, given what we've seen so far in these first few laps. It has been absolutely mesmerising. I hope you, the audience, are just as much as enjoying it as me and Gareth are in the comments. I think I've just never heard Gareth get so giddy in my life. And believe me, I've known Gareth for about 2.5 years now. As now Hayden goes to the inside against Liam. Oh my goodness.
And giving each other no quarter. This is incredible for us. Jolly's getting in on the act as well. And like I say, Jolly and Mulder are in prime position here. Hayden's, well, the guys in front are going to have to look behind and go, oh, have we made the wrong decision in this? And I know Jolly had that, obviously retired early because of the incident in qualifying. And, you know, it was probably hurting at the time, but now he's probably going, actually, that's worked out perfectly for me. Those soft runners are in prime position to take this Grand Prix, I think. And I think those two might very well be P1-2 at the end of the day if their luck goes their way.
Still a lot of racing left to be done though, and of course DRS goes open for him. Liam actually goes to the inside there to break the slipstream. In actual fact, as you can see, Pred there just there rumble with Jolly, and he also goes to the inside. So yep, I'll gladly give DRS to you on slipstream. I'm not going to give it to Hayden or Jolly. No, they don't deserve it. I'm going to give it to you because you are my special best friend forever. As now, of course, Liam closing once again up on his teammate as Way still goes fastest. That's encouraging news for him as Hayden gone to the inside line against Liam under late circumstances. In the end, he might actually have it done down towards turn 4. They're side-by-side champs leader against last time's winner out in France. And a championship hopeful, you have to say, round the outside through towards turn 4. Hayden breaks away as he can. Liam also does the same. There's a bit of contact between the two. Hayden eventually tries to fight his way through. Please, for the love of God, don't desync collision, lads. That would cause shockwaves in the TOR championship this season. Hayden, in the end, makes contact with the back of Liam through towards turn 5. Everyone else is sitting there thinking, yes, I'll have a piece of this, but they can't quite just yet because they've got a massive 2 cars in the way. Eventually, Hayden, it's a bit of a scribble. Liam managed to defend, and Jolly still just by him, and Mulder now right on the back of him, so he's going to have to start looking behind as well, as he was just looking ahead to think, yes, I've got a chance, as we just saw Sims darted into the pits behind him as well, but these guys still leaving little to no room.
So the two Hasses are definitely working together, because you could see at the end of going into turn 4, Pred had defended from King Liam when he didn't need to, so he was dropping any kind of anything for LCR again and going around the outside this time. He had no luck on the inside, so he's, oh god, this is so close. Jolly doesn't know where to go. He doesn't know which person he's got to follow.
Yeah, he tries to follow Hayden and follows the race in line, but round the outside for UK up Predator now on the defence. A bit of a sort of kiss on the front wing to LCR Hayden to say, no, it's not this time, sunshine. They pulled off the team swap and it very nearly backfired then. Liam let back through by Pred, and because of that, there was an open line for Hayden to take on the outside, while Pred was, of course, backing away, and that allowed him the opportunity. But Jolly and Mulder still on the back of these guys, heading towards the penultimate corner, where any of these guys attempt an undercut potentially to just sort of try and fool anyone. No, all of them stay out for another lap. 12 laps. Jolly skips across the final corner, and that will even prone to Mulder on the inside. Indeed it will, and past goes the Dutchman into 4th. And now, of course, the battle for the top 3 has a little more of a reprieve, and now it's only by 4 tenths though, so these guys still got to watch out, as we've got a train of 5 here leading the way. And once again, Pred to the inside line of Liam in their battle, and once again he's let through, but then look at that, Liam goes late to the inside there on LCR Hayden. Now Mulder's round the outside of LCR Hayden through towards turn 3, a bit of a sort of kiss there from the pair of them down towards turn 4, and just like that, Hayden has lost out to a soft runner out of absolutely nothing. And Hayden going to still try and find his way back past Mulder through towards turn 4. Couldn't quite just yet, and still round the outside goes the Dutchman, and still he holds that position just about. Now Jolly tries to get himself in on the action through towards turn 5. Hayden's just watched himself being plucked apart here, Gareth. It's not good at all for the championship leader.
I think actually Hayden's best bet is just to maybe drop out of this battle, get a little bit of just follow these guys, because King Liam and Pred have got massive tyre wear problems right now. And
all contact! Hayden and Jolly. Hayden went to the inside to take the pit line clearly, and Hayden has gone to that line. Jolly's gone the normal line, not broke as a reaction to the fact that he's done that, and just swiped into the back of him. And just like that, Jolly is out. Hayden has lost loads of time. And it's all of a sudden Mulder, Liam, Pred in that order for this race victory, with Wastel still a dark horse. Huge news.
Wow, that is just wow. I don't quite get what went on there at all. So Mulder is now going on the offensive of King Liam. Jolly, I don't know. I've got just no comment for that. That's incredible what happened. I only have your words to help me through. So Mulder's now having to go against the Haas team to try and overtake, and I'm starting to think that the two-stop strategy is actually the best way to go, because Wastel is only really 9 seconds away from this battle for the lead of the Grand Prix.
Yeah, it's looking like it could be the way forward, and of course we're now on to lap 14. Now about to be 15. All these guys, of course, don't forget you can put in 4 laps of qualifying on them super softs, and he's still going, which means technically he's done about 18 laps worth of lap time, which is nearly half race distance. So his tyres must be screaming for give way, as actual fact Liam now going to go back past, and Mulder trying to go to the outside line against UK Predator, and I don't think he can. Long way around once again, a bit of a sort of kiss as they got back on the traction and got back on the power ASAP. In the end, Pred sliding like mad and down towards turn 4. Mulder goes to the outside line against UK, but down the inside he goes on his teammate out of nowhere. That's probably just to sort of try and defend as possible as best he can, and in the end Mulder again has to concede defeat. But looking further down, by the way, there still is some racing going on, and Janny has just come out just behind his teammate of LCR Hayden, and now Wastel has got LCR Apex ahead of him, who's probably going to really wish he sort of had a blue flag waving, because he's trying to steam up on these ultras, and now he's got a Toro Rosso ahead of him.
Yeah, I think as pit comes Liam. That's a weird one as well. King Liam pitting first out of the 2 there. Wastel is going to have this move done pretty quickly because of the state of Apex's super softs, but there's just very breaks late and takes the corner. Actually, that's a perfect little line there by Wastel. Whether Apex will come back at him, I'm not sure, but Wastel's proving to be a really, really solid runner at this Austrian Grand Prix so far.
Yeah, he's got a really good chance of doing something here today, and especially with the fact that, you know, there's so much gap in between all the guys. As you can see, of course, Fred and Mulder have not pit. Wastel has, and their gap is 5.8. Yes, of course, Wastel has another stop to go, but he is on fresher ultra soft tyres and will, of course, go onto a set of super softs to the end. So he is a dark horse to do something, because Mulder will go on super softs as well. So in actual fact, it could be close between those two with the way it's going. But we're on lap 16 of 36. Would you believe we're already almost half race distance in this one? This one is certainly one for the books. And, well, Pred now does come into the pits, and Mulder going to take the race lead. It'd be interesting to see where Mulder comes out with regards to his teammate. Oh, sorry, Pred, not Mulder. Pred.
So Pred, I think, has done the job of holding Mulder up to give King Liam that little bit of extra chance come the end of the Grand Prix. But it's interesting to see Wastel is only 5.4 seconds behind Mulder right now. He's built a 2-second gap over LCR Apex within half a lap. So Wastel is making those ultra soft tyres work in his favour. And whether these soft runners have got the pace for the super softs, or especially Wastel's pace at the moment, if he can produce that on the super softs as well, Wastel's in a really good position right now.
That was some useful information about the undercut there. Just look at the gap between the two Hasses. It was pretty much top and tail end together when they came into the pits, and now, thanks to that just one lap undercut, there is 2 seconds separating them. So it's clear that Liam is not only favouring the driving, but also just has that advantage as well. Is Mulder still going to stay out? I expect them to maybe come in, maybe lap 20, 16 laps on supers would be fair enough. I expect LCR Apex to be the final guy to make his first pit stop other than Mulder, and yes, understandably, into the pits comes Apex for his first stop. And, well, we'll just have a look at the gaps, by the way, Gareth. Because, gap 17, about 15.1 already between Liam and Mulder. Gap between Wastel and Liam is about 10 seconds, so it is really good news for Wastel to get something, if anything, even just a podium out of this race.
Yeah, I think that is, well, if he's watching this, that will be music to his ears, I think, because or just listening into it while he's racing up through and catching all the commentary he can. But that kind of time between the two of them is 10 seconds. That's a lot, but also when you look at it after pit stops, and he's going to be on the super soft tyres compared to a set of softs that have been used quite a bit by King Liam by that point. Very much advantage Wastel, I believe. LCR Apex is 4 seconds down on Scarf, so that's a I'm not sure what happened to Scarf early on, why he pitted early.
Sorry about that. Let's take a brief phone call for about 11 seconds. Sorry, what was your question?
Whether Scarf had it, what issue Scarf had early on, and why he took an early pit stop, because it's just because Apex was close to him, and I was trying to figure it all out in my head.
Maybe, I don't know, maybe he's just going for the 2-stop, maybe nice and simply. Well, I don't know, to be perfectly honest with you. It was my first time actually contacting on Scarf in this league as well, so not too sure what he was planning, but he's only one position off, as you mentioned before. He's a bit of a character for 7th this season. He's only finished in what has been, well, as you mentioned, of course, before we went live, I won't take credit for this one. He's finished 3 times out of the 6 races, and every single time he's finished, he's come 7th. But meanwhile, race leader's in.
So Mulder's pit, which leads, well, it leads the way for Waystall to take the position, the first position at the moment. I'm not sure how much longer Waystall's going to go out, maybe 22. Interesting, Sims. I've completely forgotten about. Is Sims going to go to the end of the Grand Prix on that set of softs? He obviously started on a set of ultra softs, and I believe, he went into the pits 3 laps later than Waystall. So he's currently, if we think about it, net lead of this Grand Prix.
Yeah, I didn't even notice that. Good spot, Gareth. Yeah, he actually is, and you can do it. These guys pit a fairly adequate time, especially the guys who pit like Liam and Fred 3 laps ago. You know, that's quite a late stop for ultras for Supersoft. So yeah, Sims is actually in the position to take the victory here. Of course, not going to be his first victory of the season. It'll be his second one, alongside, of course, the Monte Carlo Grand Prix, where you could argue that Waystall deserved the win. We've had many arguments about why and why not. But still, yeah, he is actually a dark horse, and Waystall actually comes in for his second stop. So he should come out in between Mulder and Scarf. That should be where he funnels out on his super soft tyres. And, well, speaking of which, Mulder has got his first person to pass, which is UK Dark Predator on the softs. And he is going to be, well, do his best to try and defend as hard as possible to make sure he doesn't find a way past for third.
Mulder's looking really rapid. He doesn't want to be held behind the Haas. He's had a few laps that held behind him. It looks like it's an easy move, but it's done and dusted. It's whether the DRS for Pred will work on the slower compound tyre, as I think Pred's made a mistake out of turn 3 there.
That was an awful, awful exit. He just went 2 over on the curb and eventually got past. Meanwhile, further down here, we've got a little bit of battle between Gianni, Hayden and Apex. You don't want to see this battle. This is an unlikely one. LCR Hayden, LCR Apex and Kelsey Gianni, but Apex goes defensive on the inside. Now around the outside goes one of the Ferraris. It's LCR Hayden, the champs leader, trying to get his recovery attempt in this one, and he does find the way around the outside. Gianni now trying to find a way past as well, as we're on board with the helicopter cam, and, well, he didn't quite fancy it, but in the end actually swoops down the inside, thanks to a poor corner taker from Apex, and just like that, both Ferraris are ahead, and now sort of begin to plug away at their attempt to try and close up on Scarf, and of course should be coming in for his next stop as well. Anyway, we're up towards the leaders, and Liam is probably noticing the fact that Sims is going to try and go to the end, and is bringing to Scythe that gap down already to 1.6 seconds.
Yeah, so Kingley, well, he's got one eye in front and one eye behind, because Mulder is getting faster and faster. I think he would have wanted Pred, his teammate, to be a bit more of a better roadblock than he had been on that occasion, because Mulder was at the moment, he is flying. He's just set the fastest lap of the Grand Prix on the previous lap. So in this set of super soft tyres is actually maybe advantage LCR Mulder.
Oh yeah, but we'll have to wait and see what happens there. As we've just been asked in the chat, Squidgy 3, can we see, I assume it says can we see penalties, it just said can we pens please, so I assume that's what it means. Sims has a penalty to his name, with Kinnan25 also having 1 penalty to his name, so equal between those two. Mulder has 2 penalties, so he actually has a disadvantage. UK Predator does not have a single penalty, so it's a good chance for him. Waystall also is without a penalty. 2 penalties for Scarf, 1 penalty for LCR Hayden, and finally penalty for Gianni, and no penalties for LCR Apex. So in actual fact, within the leaders, it is actually still advantage Sims and Liam because Mulder carries 2, but also UK Predator is still in the back of this race because he doesn't have a penalty to his name. So there's a great opportunity here to bring some serious points home.
Yeah, Pred's lucky he can get himself. Well, if he can, I say lucky, if he can just keep up with this leading pack, he can get himself into a really good position and find himself onto a podium at the end of the Grand Prix. He's just got to make sure he doesn't overwork that set of soft tyres. And try, I know it's 2.4 seconds, but try and get back into the DRS range of LCR Mulder. Just to catch along, just catch a train and make it work for him. But at the moment, it's very much the lead of the Grand Prix is going to be a battle between Sims, Kingley and Mulder. It's almost inevitable.
Yeah, and also Waisel still steaming up on them Fredder Supers. And there we go. Well, we jinxed it. Commentator's curse. You kill out Predator, 3-second time penalty, multiple warnings. So, well, now he's got a little to do. And, well, given the fact that we're going to start to see this battle begin to implode as Mulder had a terrible final corner, in fact, went outside the second window of Kingdom 25, which now means, of course, Liam's been a second of Sims, which is going to help him project away on the straights and just have that little bit more of time before he finds a way past Sims. Just that little bit of a window to get his way through. If he can do it in the first couple of laps, he can begin to scarper away from Sims, scarper away from Mulder, and just sort of slowly begin to set in reality that he could win back-to-back races. But it's not all set in stone just yet.
It's not indeed, because as he Mulder out of nowhere has produced the middle sector of his life, and he's got half a second on King Liam out of nowhere, because the guys in front didn't really look like they made a mistake, as King Liam, well, it drifts around the back corner there, or the last corner I should say. So this battle going on to the back straight, I think is going to be maybe, very, very maybe a free away, pretty much free in a line.
Well, yeah, but now, of course, Mulder has free time players, but down it inside goes Liam on Sims, trying to find a way immediately past. Indeed, he doesn't. Sims probably could have had a switchback, but he broke late and ended up hitting the back. Now Mulder's downing inside through towards turn 4. Brilliant opportunity for LCR Mulder, downing inside of this fresh Sims opportunity, followed through Liam, and indeed he's going to just about. Sims tries to break it late as he possibly can, but I don't think it's enough. Them super soft, just brilliant traction, and that means he can set himself on Kingdom 25, goes to the inside to be defensive, then comes the back across him. You could argue that's 2 moves, but I don't quite know, but I am not one to speak for stewards. But through towards these final couple of corners, they're still top and talent to give a brilliant exit from Mulder. Through towards the penultimate corner, Liam goes defensive on the inside line, but Mulder's still going to try and find a way through. Now shifts to the outside line as they come on to break for the penultimate corner. Incredible stuff between this top 3, and allowing Pred to close up. Waster also to begin to have a sniff of hope and getting back into this one potentially, as down towards turn 1 they are now Liam ahead of Mulder, ahead of Sims, and it's a great opportunity here for Mulder and Liam to start to scarp away from Sims if they don't battle so much.
Well, it's the battling that's going to cause it. King Liam's going to do everything he can to hold Mulder up into Sims's grasp, maybe even Pred's grasp, because that's where it's going. Mulder's going around the outside of King Liam. Just enough, and Mulder's. I have no idea. That's the best way to describe it. There's so much going on with these 3. King Liam again going early defensively. He's doing what he does best and just closing the gap off and forcing Mulder out and letting Sims through. He's just got to be careful he doesn't let Sims pass himself as well.
Yeah, now 9 seconds worth of penalties, and as you can see, looking to the back of this train, UK Dark Predator, which would mean, of course, mathematically he would come home third. It would be Sims and Liam ahead, with Mulder down in as low as P5 in this one, thanks to his time penalties. But Mulder's not going to care about that. He's still going to fight as hard as he possibly can. And while Prem runs a bit wide at the final corner, probably some reaction, getting overexcited. But here goes Mulder again on Sims, down towards turn 1, down the inside, goes to TOR Austrian GP as late as he possibly can, very nearly tags the back of Liam, and indeed finds a way past, but it might be only for just about a couple of 100 metres, down towards turn 3. Comes all 3 of these guys. Sims does his best to try and find a way past. He can't. Mulder now trying to find a way past, running outside of Kingdom in 25 through towards turn 3. He couldn't quite, he squeezed out onto the one-off error. Now Sims immediately trying to do exactly what he did earlier, and indeed he does. Now that's a great opportunity for Sims to have a go at Liam down towards turn 4. Indeed he does. Rounding outside for Sims through towards his section. Liam defends it beautifully, pens him onto the grass. Smolder gets past. Sims there might be under pressure from UK Predator, and is, and through goes the Haas, and just like that the order's flipped into Liam, Pred, Sims, and then finally Mulder, who will come home in P5 because Wastel's still in this mix, and Wastel, if he can get in 3 seconds of this battle, will win the Austrian Grand Prix in unbelievable circumstances. Mulder's rounding outside through towards penultimate corner, killing 25. This is incredible stuff to witness through towards the final corner. Side by side they go. Mulder squeezed out. Pred takes advantage, and just like that, they're back into the same order. DRS is not over for Mulder or Liam, and down the inside goes UK Predator. He leads the Austrian Grand Prix. Round the outside goes Liam and Mulder. He can't quite defend it. Sims now trying to take advantage, going towards turn 3. This is unbelievable. Wastel gets the 3 seconds average. Just straight away back in the same order. Liam passes Pred, who now passes Mulder down towards turn 3. This is unbelievable stuff. This is 1 in a million in league racing here today. It is now Liam, Mulder, Pred, Sims, Wastel in that order. And oh my goodness, Gareth take over.
Well, that was King Liam definitely. Oh, I don't want to say anything there, but that is incredible. All of that, so much going on. Pred now coming right back at LCR Mulder, so it's so much battling. The two Hasses using every bit of track they can to defend, squeeze, and Mulder I bet he can't think that he just can't get a break right now. He's now P2. If he can get just a couple of seconds of just peace from these guys, I think he could pull away. But all this, if you just look, just slowly behind, look, just behind, there is a pink Force India, or Racing Point as it is now officially called, just behind, ready to pounce. But they've got to, these Sims and Mulder have to work together against these two Hasses, because if you go round the outside of these two Hasses, they are just going to push you, squeeze you off the track as King Liam does there. So they are building a roadblock.
Oh my goodness me! Pinball between the guys down towards turn 4. Once again, Pred goes down the inside against King Liam 25, his teammate, and eventually they do work out the peaceful order of things just about, but the Hasses are still side by side through towards turn 5. Sims now trying to get off. Mulder tries to get to him, but they're 3 wide down towards turn 5. Mulder then goes off. As you can see, that's Pred and Liam, going off into the gravel, but they all somehow managed to come out in the same order. I don't know how on earth they managed that. Mulder now goes to the outside as Pred begins to scarper off into the distance, and that might be great news for the Italian here today, who might be about to claim home a debut TOR victory. But there's still 7 laps of racing left to go. His teammate still has DRS, but Mulder's not leaving Liam an inch to get through, and having a little bit of a breather to get himself back towards the leaders, straight away back on it down towards turn 3. And as you can see, there's the Pink Panther in the background. You can see Wastel now involved. Mulder again goes to the outside, now shift late to the inside of Liam. Kind of blocks him off on the brake. You could argue he moved on a brake in there potentially, but of course once again we're not stewards, we're just commentators in this sense. Sims now down the inside of Mulder, down towards turn 4. Wastel still on the back of this one. Eventually Sims lets way for Mulder. Wastel very nearly runs into the back of him there, and just like that, it's a train between the entire top 5 with just 7 laps left to go. This is the stuff of dreams.
This is incredible stuff going on. Just as a point to pull out, Pred and King Liam are on final warnings for their second penalty. Just to get it all out, King Liam and Mulder are still going full speed at it as well. Wastel is in there. Wastel now has a penalty as well, and I believe it's on this last warning as well. But this is all handing it to UK Dark Predator. Pred's in a massive position as Sims. Well, those two have gone really, King Liam and Mulder have gone really far wide and off the corner of turn 1, and it's let Sims come right into this battle. It's Mulder again. He needs to stop going around the outside of King Liam, because he's not going to have any joy going around the outside of him, and he's going to just keep on losing out the position to Sims. Oh my goodness! I don't know where Nighthead has gone, but somehow out of nowhere, King Liam has dropped down to P4. Wastel, Sims and King Liam is fighting it all out, and he's... Oh, what is going on there? I don't know.
What on earth? I had my mic muted, I didn't mean to, but I had it. 3 wide through towards turn 4. You couldn't quite believe it. And now with 5 laps left to go, you would feel the fair order of things eventually has been worked out. And surely, after all of this, UK Dark Predator is on his way to claiming victory, given the fact that all these guys who are now on the softs are screaming in terms of tyre wear thanks to all the battling they have done, but it's still not quite over because Wastel is going to try and find a way past Liam to get himself onto the podium. Of course, provisionally on the podium it will of course be Pred, Liam, Wastel due to the 3-second time penalties carried by LCR Mulder with just under 5 laps left to go. This one has to go in the books as up there as one of the best in league racing I've seen.
Oh, it's been incredible stuff. A little bit of argy-bargy, elbows coming out, but this is just, they've just been hammer and tongs all the way through the last 5-6 laps. We lost the first 12 laps, considering we were just thinking that was like 3 laps worth of action, but it was in fact it was 12. There's so much going on in this Grand Prix, and there's still plenty to play for with now 4 laps to go.
Yeah, Wastel trying to find a way past. Liam has dropped out of DRS range to LCR Mulder, which does of course allow opportunity for Mulder to try and sort of reel in, at least try and get himself into the race lead, not on penalties of course, but in actual fact on track. But here goes Wastel to the outside line of King Liam 25 down towards turn 3, and as you can see again, he's not quite wide, but the switchback, what a switchback from Wastel, and straight to under traction has left King Liam 25 for a kebab and tucked him into bed on a Friday night. Good night, King Liam. Oh, he's crashed! What on earth has he done there?
Wow. Okay. Sims is now into P3, so Hayden, we haven't spoken about Hayden in a little while. Him and Johnny, his teammate, out of nowhere, have gotten themselves into P4 and 5. Actually, Hayden might, on penalties, get himself on the podium. It depends what he's got penalty-wise and whether he can close the gap down just by a second to Sims and Mulder. So plenty still to play for the 2 Ferraris, and penalties are going to play a massive part in this Grand Prix. Mulder is now just over a second behind UK Dark Predator.
I'm having flashbacks to TOR Season 1 Austria in that instance. A few people in this chat may remember TOR, T-Wing Racing League. A few people may not. But there was a controversial incident in Season 0.5 for Austria. We've just seen a repeat of that. I'm not too sure. We won't comment until afterwards, but nevertheless, with now what to be 2 laps to go, Mulder is within DRS range. We've got a battle here between the Netherlands, of course the new addition to the Formula 1 calendar, and a classic on the Formula 1 calendar, Italy. It's like Monza against Sandroop, who will come out on top. With just 2 laps of racing left to go, you would feel Pred has the race won, but it'd be nice to just see one last hurrah in this Grand Prix.
It would be nice just to see these 2 battle it through a little bit more. And at this rate, I believe Mulder will still claim P2 into the Grand Prix as well on penalties because of Sims getting that 3-second time. Correct me if my maths is wrong. I think it works out that way at the moment.
6 seconds, yeah, you are right.
Sims is dropping like a fly to Mulder, so I don't think he's going to have any sort of answer to these 2 front guys going at it. But Mulder's still carrying a lot of speed at the moment, and considering his tyres are meant to be the weaker at this stage of the Grand Prix on this older lap, he's carrying a lot of speed right now.
Well, yeah, we're on to the final lap of racing nevertheless, and Pred is being closed down. The DRS goes open, and well, let's see if he can have a little bit of a go on the final lap left to go. Yuki Brent was on his way to claim the race victory, and well, I have to say, what a daily win this will be. And one upset to the system, you have to say, for the Italian. I'm sure he'll treasure this one very well, but Mulder still going to go to the outside line and give no love lost between these two, and a switchback could be on, and he's kind of learnt his mistakes there from what he did to Liam, and indeed done his best to try and find a way past, but still could not quite. Through towards turn 4, he's going to go to the outside line, and again, not on for this time, but still just around half a lap left to go, and that could have been Mulder's last chance to find a way through. But all eyes go to number 26, the Haas. He had a good opportunity. He'd done 4 laps in qualifying. He started from 5th, had it all to do, and he ticked all the boxes beautifully. Just a few more corners left to be done, and all of a sudden, the world turns on its head. Austria is Italy's for today. UK Dark Predator wins in Austria for TOR. What a day that is, and I'm sure he'll treasure that one for a long, long time. LCR Mulder in the end is going to bring home second, thanks to Sims having 3 seconds. Up to the line, and Hayden doesn't manage to do it due to penalties. Jani doesn't manage to beat him by half a second, which means, of course, it's still 12 points for the champion. A great day for him. He'll treasure that one like a beauty. LCR Apex comes home in P6 in the end, and Scarf are going to come home P7, but I think Waste will beat him due to time penalties, and yes, he will. In the end, Wastel brings home P7. But that will conclude that, Gareth, and, well, what a race.
That's mental. I honestly thought there Scarf had finished P7 as well. I was literally about to lose my shit, I think is the best way to describe it. So apologies for the language there. However, incredible. We had it all really. Intense battling, constant battling. I have no words to describe everything that went on today. I don't know.
It's one for the books, and I'm sure it's one that Italian remember. Now, of course, it moves swiftly along to Driver of the Day candidate. Gareth, who are you going to award it
to? This is a massive, difficult. Everyone on the podium deserves it. Sims for a brilliant just race in general. Mulder for a fantastic fight back and a race, but it'd be hard to put it past Pred, just because everything that he's done in this Grand Prix, he's made everything. He's made it his own, and especially with the qualifying, with 4 laps off his tyres, he's done it brilliantly.
Yep. Well, it looks like we're just going to get the one guy, and of course, just for those guys that didn't know, LCR Mulder does not have a microphone, so we won't hear from him. But I don't think Sims is joined either, because he's gone straight on the F1 2019 beta, which is what I will do almost simultaneously after we go off this. Similar to, of course, I'm sure, a man that, well, he must be rather beaming in his headset. LCR's resident cheery Italian, beat to the past the Ferrari Lamborghini. There we are. I've done my bit of Italy. Brett, that was impressive. You must feel happy.
That was brilliant. That was the best race I've ever done. Oh, no, it was brilliant. I'm sweating.
Yeah, it was. And, just take us through that battle, because let's face it, right? In a battle where you had Sims, where you had Wastel, you had Mulder. You looked a bit like the underdog in that one, but you just kept plugging away, and eventually it just all worked out for you. Your teammate dropped off, Mulder and everyone all dropped off, and it was just presented to you, this opportunity after so much fighting. It must have felt like a massive reprieve to take what has been a glorious day.
Yep. The battles, like, from lap 1 to the end, I've never had that before. Usually you get them in, like, little bursts, obviously with the pit stops, and then it was just full on again. That was incredible. So I was just trying to manage throughout the whole race, because I said the first stint I did 4 laps in quali, because I just kept bottling my lap. So when I did the lap, and then I was quite close to like the likes of like Hayden and Liam and that. So I was like, oh, I've got a chance. And then me and him kind of worked together, as you kind of saw, proper teammates. And yeah, it worked out quite well towards the end because I had the tyre life. Liam ran out of fuel trying to catch Sims. So I asked him, said, shall I go? And he said, yeah. So that's when I bolted off.
Well, yeah, you most certainly did bolt off, and well, you obviously had that last lap battle with Mulder anyway, but it looked like you had it pretty wrapped up anyway for you. But talk to you about championship, of course, it's your debut here in TOR, and speaking of course about the sister league LCR, of course, on Sunday must give you confidence heading into Sunday.
Of course. No, I like Austria. It's one of my good tracks. Usually in the past, I've not had the greatest luck, even though I felt like I've had the pace. So it was good that I showed it today.
Well, yeah, and of course, just talking to you about next week, British Grand Prix, many of the drivers' home races, technically half of yours.
Yeah.
Of course, you've been there numerous times, so you've already surveyed the track many a time.
Of course.
Expectations. Maybe another potential chance at the podium, or even possibly, a 2 wins from 2. It could happen.
Yeah. No, out of all, Silverstone is my favourite. Out of all of them, it seems like get a new racing game. That's the first track I load up. I just love it, everything about it. So I'm going for a back-to-back here. Why not?
Well, why not? And I have to say congratulations. And Gareth, any questions for our race winner here today?
Congratulations, Fred. Long time no speak.
Thank you.
Glad to see you smiling, and it's not as it's not as happy as I saw you when you just won the Italian.
That was pretty special.
A little while ago. But some amazing scenes for you. And I mean, what was going through your head? This is not meant in a nasty way, but what was going through your head when you decided 4 laps on super softs?
I kept bottling my lap, but I saved up. I put 5 laps in just because I knew if I muck up, I can just go again. But I kept mucking up, and until like my last lap, because it was that last corner I kept bottling. So for that last run, I just took it easy through that corner. So I could have actually made up a couple of places, but I just wanted to get a lap in. But by that time, I probably did about 5-6% of my tyres. So it wasn't as bad as I thought, but not ideal when we're battling like that. But the tyres did last more than I expected.
Oh, you made them last incredible. That was phenomenal. Obviously, with all the battling as well, did you think that you could take it to the end of the Grand Prix with all that going on?
I think just about, I'd say. I think my tyres finished on about 60. Because when Liam was in the main battle, I kind of held back. Just tried to save everything as tyres, just so that when I am with them, I can launch a proper attack, and that's what I did.
Oh, well, you did it phenomenally, mate. So congratulations on the victory, especially as it's your first race in the league.
Thank you. And you signed off about 4 o'clock.
Yeah, that's not bad. 4 hours in, he's already grabbed the first race victory, and that will conclude that. Austria goes down as surely a candidate for race of the season. We hope that the other 7 rounds are going to be just the same. I'm sure as hell, I guarantee you could upgrade for him. He wants a nice calm one at the front. Anyway, as per usual, that will conclude that. Thank you so much, as per usual. Gareth, pleasure to join you in the combats. I look forward to joining you next week for, of course, mine and yours home Grand Prix in Silverstone. But the big talking point, LCR Hayden did not quite manage to get away as further as he would have liked. 26 points now separates himself and LCR Ben. But that will finish that. Thank you for watching. As per usual, it's been a pleasure to bring you all the action. And we'll see you same time, same place next week for the British Grand Prix at Silverstone. Thank you guys, and goodbye.